I thought you and I would have a little gentle chat today about a subject area which I think is a key to becoming super motivated. And that's learning to learn, accelerated learning. I don't think I learned how to learn at school, but I did at college. And so I'm going to share with you my most precious model on how to learn anything faster. It's called the Learn Fast system. And it uses a mnemonic called MESSAGE for mindset, entrance, share and switch, store, act, go again, and engage. Let's have a look, shall we? So the first part is M for mindset, where we make ready to learn. Because when we come to any learning experience, we're not necessarily ready to learn. We might have lots of things going on in our mind. And so we need to clear our minds for learning, create the right environment, and set clear objectives. So if you look on this screen here, you'll see a little elephant with the letters ECO to remind you of environment, clear, and objective. Coming up to 1 o'clock there then, mindset, make ready. Part of your environment is to create a subliminally, that's a difficult word to say, supportive context. So you need a relaxed body, support for your body, and an environment that says this is a good place to learn. It's a bit like going into a supermarket and you see the fruit and veg first. That's saying subliminally to you, this is a good place to shop because they have fresh food. So what would it take for you to mindscape your environment so that you felt it was ideal for learning? And then we need to clear the clutter. If you look about 3 o'clock at the 1 o'clock branch, it's got clear, clutter, connect. And I use a technique there called Park FM. So I just do a simple T column and I park all my baggage. Baggage is not necessarily bad, is it? It's the stuff that we are carrying with us in our working memory. It might be a to-do list, a shopping list, or it might be a concern. But it needs to be parked so that all of our working memory can be available to learn. So clear your clutter and then connect with your outcome. Beneath that you'll see benefits and WIIFM. WIIFM is the world's favourite radio frequency, radio station. Stands for what's in it for me. So having very, very clear outcomes, realistic outcomes about what's in it for you from learning this subject can really help. And then the final bit is to have that positive can-do attitude within the context of what I know already. You don't come to this learning empty, you come with your own learning history. So that's important to celebrate. So you might do a mind map and you go, well, so what I know about this subject already, and you could mind map that down. Then you could mind map your goal, what's in it for me. And I would suggest you keep the Park FM sheet separately. So park anything that you want to deal with later, not during the learning period. And also write down the FM, what's in it for me, on that as well to remind you when you review. But also in your mind map, you can put your goals. So environment, clear, connect, clutter, and outcome. That's mindset. Summarised, it's a lot deeper than that, but this is just an overview. And then we move into the E, the first E of message, which is entrance. So you've got into the right state of mind for learning, which is an alpha dominant state in terms of brainwaves. You've got a relaxed body, but an alert mind. And now you need to use all your senses to literally make sense of the learning. We can see a little figure there pushing open the door to radio VHF. And VHF, if you're old enough like me, you'll remember it means very high frequency. You can have a very high frequency of learning anything faster if you use at least 3 of your 5 senses. And so those 3 senses are VHF: visual, hearing and feeling, as you can see in the icons there. So you've got a clear outcome of what's in it for you. You might use speed reading, which is another course. You might use mind mapping. You might honour your learning type. Are you a pragmatist or a theorist, an activist or a reflector? But the most important thing here is for you to have the little elephant there with VHF, a very high frequency of learning anything faster by using more than one sense. If you use one sense, it's the equivalent of monotone, and that would not be very exciting if we spoke in a monotone, would it? But if you use 3 senses, it's like bringing excitement into your sensory apparatus, and it's like opening more doors. So that's why it's called entrance. Entrance to the brain is through the senses. And if you really want to go the extra mile, you could use Go VHF. The G is for the posh word gustatory, which is your taste, and another posh word, O for olfactory, which is your sense of smell. And one of the most powerful ways you can anchor your learning in long-term memory is to associate a scent with each of the subjects you're studying. That's really going deep, isn't it? So you might start thinking about, what is the scent that I would associate with studying maths or biology or chemistry or philosophy? One worth thinking about. Our next branch is where we share and then switch ownership, because great learning is not about consuming information, it's about co-creating knowledge. So the learning you do should change you, but also you should change the learning. So we've got a little elephant there with TFM to stand for the Full Monty, a film from many years ago, which articulates in 56 seconds the best model explanation of multiple intelligence I ever seen. And if you'll excuse me, I'm going to use Jesus' name in a wrong way. Gerald, who'd done some dancing, is trying to choreograph a group of steel workers who have lost their job and are going to do a session as male strippers, as a dance act, to make some money. So he thinks he can choreograph this dance. It's not going very well. So he says, Jesus Christ, all I want you to do is come forward in a straight bloody line and put your hand up. Well, forgive the rude words there, but that's the film. In the hiatus, the gap between his outburst and what happens next, one of them uses, and as you can see it here, intrapersonal intelligence. So that's the lady sitting on the stool with the pumpkin. And intrapersonal intelligence is reflective intelligence. So you can see him thinking, and he goes, in quite a quiet voice, well, it's the Arsenal offside trap, isn't it? And the others can't really hear him. So Gerald says, do what? And he says, well, it's the Arsenal offside trap, isn't it? Lumper here is Tony Adams. If any bugger looks like scoring, we all come forward in a line and wave our hands like a fairy. Wave our hands like a fairy. So using his own model of football, he likens the dance move to the Arsenal offside trap, where the players come forward and put a hand up as if attracting the ref to say it's offside. Now in that 56 seconds, you've got interpersonal intelligence, visual spatial intelligence, linguistic, he puts it in his own words. So visual spatial, Lumperia is Tony Adams, so he's pointing to another player and the dance floor, as it were. He's putting it in his own words, it's the Arsenal offside trap. They're doing it together, so that's interpersonal. He's done the intrapersonal, the reflection, to get the metaphor. They're doing it physically. Mathematically, logically is going to come next, and the musical. So Gerald says, all right, Nathan puts the music on, and they go to the music, so musical intelligence, 1, 2, 3, ref. Gerald says, perfect. Perfect. And one of the other dancers says, well, you should have said. So what does this mean in terms of our learning? Well, it means the process of making the learning our own, of co-creating knowledge. We share as the teacher perhaps with the students, but then we switch ownership to the students. Gerald, the choreographer, didn't think in terms of the Arsenal offside trap. It was one of the students of the dance who said, well, it's like the Arsenal offside trap, isn't it? He took ownership, in his own words, of the learning. In practical terms, this means having gathered information through our senses, the entrance, we then need to process it. We need to use musical intelligence, interpersonal intelligence, linguistic intelligence, visual spatial intelligence, intrapersonal intelligence, physical intelligence, mathematical logical intelligence, to put the learning in our own words, to put the learning to music or learn to music, to perhaps interact with a study buddy, to mind map it out, to make the visual spatial, to reflect on what it means to us. Maybe we can physically interact with the learning, which is a brilliant way, and let's see the reasons and the logic and the steps with the mathematical logical. Now, life's very, very busy, isn't it? So having done that, we very much need to lock it down, to make it stick. So the second S is for store, make it stick. And our little elephant there is ABC 1 2 3 to remind us of the song 1 2 3 ABC, to make it as easy as ABC 1 2 3. And to do that, we'll probably use some sort of mnemonic device. Mind mapping is very, very good for bridging entrance, switch and store, so you can do many of these phases in the same technique. But I've also got here the vowels of memory: association, A-E-I-O-U, E for emotion, I for imagination, O for order, and U for the unusual. So anything you can associate with suddenly becomes like Velcro, sticky. If you've got some emotion in it, you've got some skin in the game, you're committed to it. If you can get your imagination working, you can literally capture your imagination. If there's an order, it's much easier to recall because you can go through the steps and you can go forward and backwards if there's an order. And something unusual very much sticks in the mind. So I am 65 years old now. It's a long, long, long time ago that I was studying geography with Mrs. Marnie at my school. And she was Australian and I liked her. Her name was spelt Mahoney. And that's about all I can remember of our geography lessons. Except one day, something very, very unusual happened. A beautiful black Labrador came into our school, found its way up flights of stairs, found our schoolroom door slightly ajar, pushed its lovely wet nose through the gap, got into the classroom, and then became a piece of rubber, as only Labradors can do, as he got so excited that there were so many people to pay attention to and to be paid attention to by. And Mrs. Marnie said someone needs to take the dog down to reception, which they did. But from that unusual event, I can remember that we were studying the Straits of Magellan, and I can still see the page vaguely. Now that's decades ago. So the unusual is a really good friend of memory, making it stick. M-E-S-S-A is for act. And to act, we need to catch ourselves using our new knowledge. So we've become competent, we've locked down the knowledge with make it stick, the store phrase, but now we need to make it show so that our confidence matches our competence. And the PVC there is to playfully verify the confidence. Verify your confidence. PVC, playfully verify confidence. And to do that, we usually, when I'm working with learners, play a game show. We have a game to show us that we've really mastered the content. So that's great fun. Nearly there, the spooky bit, the magical bit of accelerated learning, which makes it look like a kind of magic, is the go again phase. So during the mind setting and the entrance phase, we have alpha dominant states where our body is relaxed but our mind is alert. In the go again stage, that's when we go again over the memory traces. We review. That makes the learning flow as if it's second nature. So we've got 3 R's there for review, and that's rhythm. There's a review rhythm I'll come to in a minute. Reflect and rehearse. So the reflect is the easy one. We go back over our notes, perhaps a mind map. We might even stick them on a learning wall so they stay in sight, in mind. We might have a learning journal to help us reflect. Very, very powerfully, if we can rehearse the application of the learning, that really builds the memory trace. And then the rhythm, we know that we forget 80% of what we learn within 24 hours because of memory research. So what we need to do is review within the first hour, but actually there's an even more important point, the 5 to 10 minutes after a learning experience, where we need to create space for our whole brain to begin the review process. So what most people do as soon as they've had an important meeting or a seminar or a lesson at school is they go on their phones and they fill their minds with new information. That's disastrous. What you really want to do is to create a space in those 5 to 10 minutes after the learning experience so that your brain can reflect and go, how does that apply to me? How could I use that? Where could I use that next? So the rhythm is 5 to 10 minutes, an hour, a day, a week, a month, and a season, 3 months. If you do a quick review in the first 5 to 10 minutes, within the first hour, with the first day, the first week, the first month, and the first season, that will move from short-term memory. The information will move from short-term memory to long-term memory, and it will flow naturally as if it's second nature. Now, accelerated learning comes from a discipline called Suggestopedia, which used very dramatic ways to review there with nice, calm, relaxing largo movements from classical musical pieces, to entrain, which is to encourage a brainwave state of more theta waves. And that's where the body is still relaxed, but the attention goes inside. With alpha state, you've got a relaxed body and an active mind looking outside and using all your senses. With the go again phase, you want to relax and go inside to reflect on your learning, to review it, to rehearse it. And then last, the second E is engage, where we make a commitment, like an engagement. And this is part of the wonder of the brain. Your brain is a filtration system. You can't pay attention to everything that's going on all the time. It would drive you crazy, literally. So what you have to do is live in a filtered version of reality. that begs the question, how is the brain going to make a decision what to pay attention to and what to filter out? And the way we do that is we think about the future applications of what we're paying attention to. So if you're in a seminar or a meeting or a lesson, if you can think about how could I apply that in future, and you use your VIC, which is your vision, your imagination and your commitment. If you can make a commitment to the application of your learning in future, the action steps that you will take, then your brain will go, this is important, and it will start to look for opportunities to apply your learning. So there you go. That's the Learn Fast system. And I'll show you the whole mind map now. If I'd shown you that at first, that would have been a bit much, wouldn't it? But when you've got it in context, you'll be okay. Learn fast. Mindset, entrance, share and switch ownership, store, act, go again, and engage. Do that and you'll learn anything faster at a much deeper level, like a kind of magic.